All right, welcome to Scalable and Saleable, where we find out what great business leaders have done to scale their businesses to millions. Stay right here for the next few minutes to leverage validated methodologies for growth and create a way more scalable and sellable business for yourself. Let's get started. He's here today in between meetings, got a lot of things going on. So he's made time. He grew his last business that he led to 50 million. He's run multiple companies. But would you mind telling our audience a little bit more about you and your business?
Yeah, hi. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I grew up in Florida and went to the Naval Academy to serve my country and to learn how to lead people, and that was a really great experience. But was drawn. It was before 9/11, and it was really drawn to business. So got out, got my MBA, went to work for a big Fortune 50 company, and was still a little restless with those big organizations and how slow they move. So found the entrepreneurial world, and I've worked in the entrepreneurial space for about 25 years. Ran two companies. One, like you said, was a flooring manufacturing and distributor international company, about 200 employees, grew that to about 50 million. And then more recently, as CEO of a construction consulting company, project management company in Orlando, Florida.
And you've led multiple companies. You've led companies to tremendous growth, tens of millions in annual revenue. What do you attribute that growth to?
Everything's about people. I think I used to say before COVID that the number one most important element in an organization is people. And then when COVID hit, I said, yeah, but it's nice to have cash. And now, hopefully we're through COVID. I say, I take it back. I go back to the number one. Give me the right team. If you had a rock star team in March 2020, but we're lean on cash, you'd have a rock star company today. But if you had a weak team in March 2020 and you had some cash, you'd still have a weak team and maybe not even a company today. So everything I've learned about organizations is get the right people, get them in the right place, give them the right tools, trust them, let go, and they'll take you where you want to go. It's always about people.
Yeah, preach. And they're hard to find, but when you get the rock stars, like you said, I'm sure you've learned a lot along the way based off of your past experiences. If you were coming into a brand new, totally different business, what would be some of the first things that you think you would look into to start growing it?
Yeah, not to sound repetitive, but the first thing would be to get to know the people. Who are the management team? Who are the key players here? And they may not all be on the management team, but who are the key players? How do they interact? What kind of systems are they efficient? What kind of talent is here? What kind of development is in place? And of course, the financials too. I'd want to look at the financials and see what the trends were, cash flow, those types of things to see what kind of resources we had to invest if, say, we needed to shore up the management team or the talent pool. But those would be the first things. And then customers, market, those types of, product, service.
Right. And over the years, you've had the opportunity to go side by side as the one running the operations, but with that sort of visionary entrepreneur type person in the other seat. What do you feel most small business owners do wrong?
I think that they try to do it all. They really try to. Entrepreneurs are brilliant and they're rare and they're gifted, but none of us can do it all. That the more they stay in their natural gifts with their ideas and their relationships and making the rain, the better for the company. And to let go and turn that over to proven operators that can execute their vision. I think I mentioned with the tile company, it was before I learned anything about EOS, the entrepreneurial operating system. And, it was always a little bit of a struggle to keep things focused. I used to, at our annual planning meetings, I used to put the title as "Our Focus is Focus." A very highly entrepreneurial organization. And, we had a lot of whiplash. And that was always a struggle. But in between the two companies, read Traction and Rocket Fuel, and I said, okay, where was this? And really found that the tools and just the basics of something like EOS, to have systems and processes and understanding the gifts of the visionary and what they have and what they need to let go of, is, everybody in their right seat, right? So I could see in the second company using EOS or a system like it, how much more efficient, how much more effective, how better the team operates. We get things done, we measure our business, we adjust and move on. So don't do it all. You don't have to do it all. Get good people, trust them, and let go.
You mentioned the book Rocket Fuel, and we've talked about some other business books outside of this interview, but what's been the most influential book that you think you've ever read or listened to?
Boy, I have several. So, by Jocko Willink and Leif Babin, the Navy SEALs, is a great book by an extreme ultra athlete, Robin Benacasa, called How Winning Works. Brilliant book. Most recently, a friend in Texas wrote a book called Who's Your Mike? And it's for entrepreneurs. And Mike is your college roommate who was an art history major and is now your CFO, because he was your first employee who worked for free when you started your business in a garage, and the business grew and grew, and now he's the CFO of a $20 million company. And what do you do about Mike? And Kurt brings through, each chapter is Resume Ralph and HR Rhoda and all these people, these characters that you find in your entrepreneurial journey. Techno Tim, who is the technology genius who kind of has you he's in control because he knows all the secrets. So all these scenarios, and gives you tools on what to do with Mike and Tim and Resume Ralph. Who's Your Mike?
You guys watching it, especially the younger, newer into entrepreneurship people, that could probably save you. I'm smiling with all these scenarios because they're all like the explosions and painful life lessons that you learn along the way in entrepreneurship. So if you can get ahead of them in a book verse from being in some of those scenarios, awesome.
It's narrated by the author. He's a multi-time entrepreneur, owns a executive staffing company, excellent firm. So he has a lot. It's a great one.
Awesome. No, thank you. That's great. If you could go back in time to when you first started out and say one thing to younger you, what would you say?
Don't follow the money. Don't follow the money. Do what do what you love to do. Find what you're best at. Know yourself and follow that. And don't follow what you think you should do or what some other people, what society or other people tell you to do. But really, really listen to who you are and follow that.
Yeah, good advice, especially when it's the new shiny object way to make money of the week. What questions should I be asking you that I haven't?
I guess lessons learned, and what lessons have I learned? And I'm going to go back. This is the same thing. It's people. It's always people. And we've heard it, and it's hard. That's why we talk about it all the time. This is not easy. This isn't getting your accounting right or quality control, which all that's challenging as well. But the people, the humans, because every single one is different, and you can't build a strong enough team. You can't put enough time into it. And conversely, a weak team, whether that's weak players or they're doing the wrong things or they're led the wrong way, they'll hold you back. And things like never delay a personnel decision. If you know or think you need to make a move, you know the answer. You know the answer. you need to make it, or find someone who can help you make it. It's always people. It's always people, and people need to be led. One of the books I mentioned, Extreme Ownership, they say there's no bad teams, only bad leaders. And I believe that.
Yeah. Any final words of advice for entrepreneurs watching?
Hang in there. You are what make our society go. We need you, but let go. Find the right people to partner with. Find the right talent in whatever form that is, full-time, fractional, whatever it is. But get the right people. Put the amount of time and resources you need to get that right team, and go do what God made you to be.